high tunnels or hoop houses. And so this is a way of extending your season or even being able to grow your vegetables year-round. Before I get into that, I was wondering, I'd like to just take maybe 3-4 questions of what everyone here maybe came to learn tonight, so I make sure I try to cover that. And so we'll try to, if you have any question about gardens, or as you think and you have any questions, feel free to ask them and we'll talk about them at the appropriate time. Is there anything particular that somebody said, hey, I have to go to a gardening class tonight during the BYU game, and it's so important, I have this one question I got to get answered. It's a matter of eternal salvation. I don't know if there's anything that important, but do you have any questions that you would like to ask or want to make sure we cover today? Yes?
Where do you get the plastic that you use?
Oh, beautiful. We're going to tell you that then,
right,
so I can answer that one. Anything else? That's easy. All I have to do is cover the plastic. Let's skip to that slide and we can all go home.
Can we throw celery in here?
You know what? One of the brands of celery that's here is called Utah celery. And so it's one of the most famous celery seeds that's out there. So, yes. It was actually started right here. Any other questions? All right, well, let's get started. And I apologize. Your name is? Larry. Larry's going to help out today because I don't have all those remote controls. It's not that I don't know how to use a remote control. I just don't have one. So if we'll go ahead and page down. And after gardening, for those of you who came, we also are going to talk a little bit about chickens. Because now in South Jordan we can keep chickens. Probably about 8-9 years ago, I wanted to start getting more out of my garden and seeing if I could extend the season a little bit. And so I started messing around with hoop houses. In today's world, if you open up any type of gardening magazine, whatever it is, everyone is talking about tunnels, high tunnels, or hoop houses, ways that you can extend your garden season. So this has become extremely popular. I was just talking to this gentleman here about the tsunami. I served my mission in Sendai, but as you watched a lot of that horrific stuff you saw, hoop house, high tunnel after high tunnel being washed away or damaged in that tsunami. So Sendai, Japan has almost the exact same type of climate as we do here, the same seasons, the same type of winter. So they can go ahead and get the type of vegetables they want. They're using hoop houses or high tunnels, okay? So we're going to talk a little bit about these. About 4 or 5 years ago, because we had tried to get this plastic to stay down, we put rocks over it, we put dirt over it, we put boards over it, and every time a wind came, it's up in the tree, 2 blocks away. It just flew like a kite and it did great. So we started developing our own kit, and Jill, maybe you can show that back there. We have our own little sun catcher greenhouse, and we're going to talk a little bit about how it works, but we're also going to show you how you can build a larger high tunnel that you can walk in and produce a little bit more. So if you'd like to go ahead and push that there. So this, about a year ago, January 30th, we went ahead and started building in our backyard a hoop house. The primary components is PVC pipe and this greenhouse, this sun catcher greenhouse kit. And the greenhouse kit's just a do-it-yourself kit. It's designed just to be able to lock down that plastic so it doesn't blow away. And so that's our basic design. It goes over 2 grow boxes. Now, how many people are using grow boxes in their garden today? Fantastic.
Those 4-foot boxes.
These are 4-foot boxes, and mine happen to be 18 feet long. Any idea why we do 4 feet? Perfect. So from both sides you can reach into it and have access. It doesn't work as well in a greenhouse. So in the greenhouse, if you were doing this and maybe you tried to redesign your garden a little bit, you might do a 2-foot on each side and then a 4-foot down the middle. So you could still reach in and have a little bit easier planting and harvesting, etc. So this is the basic design. The grow box is good for a bunch of purposes. One, it keeps all your soil in one area. Here in South Jordan, how good is our soil? It's all clay, right? So whatever you did, if you try to plant a fruit tree, you have to have a pick almost to get the hole dug. And then when you do have it and you place that fruit tree in there, you've just made a clay pot for it, right? So most of your peach trees, you end up drowning because the water can't get out of them. So we don't have very good soil. So we do everything possible in South Jordan to try to create good soil. And that's one of the nice things about a grow box. One is, you can go ahead and just buy soil there over at Glover, take a dump truck load and fill them up with great soil, or you can go ahead and take what we do have and year after year put as much organic material as you can into it, whether that's cow manure, horse manure, leaves, grass clippings, whatever you can find to try to improve that soil. How important is it to continue to keep putting organic material into your soil? It's real important here. If you probably waited a year or two and didn't put any type of compost or any greens into that, you're almost back to clay. It just doesn't take long. That organic material, I don't know where it goes, but it disappears pretty quick and you're back to whatever you started with. So it's important to keep your soil and keep replenishing it and keep preparing it. So what I do to prepare my boxes is as soon as I pull the last crop, and the last crops, that's sort of a joke because if you're growing year round, when's the last crop? It could be any time. You have to at some point say, hey, this is when I'm going to empty my bed and prepare the soil. I rototill it. I put as much manure or old compost into the grow box itself and try to get it ready for the next crop. I then level it, so I level that soil as flat as possible. You want it nice and level. Anybody know why you want level soil? Watering, exactly. Any place that there's a dip or a slope, you'll either have that water pull up, it won't disperse easily. Okay? So again, this high tunnel was set out on January 30th. And in 1 week, after we put that plastic over it, we locked it down, we were able to raise the temperature in that soil. And the soil started out being virtually frozen, so you couldn't stick a shovel through it. It was up to 40 degrees at the coldest point of the day. So if you go out there the first thing in the morning, put in your soil thermometer, it was 40 degrees. Now what's magic about 40 degrees? There's a bunch of plants that will germinate at 40 degrees. Some of those are spinach. Peas will actually germinate. Any other ideas? A lot of the Asian greens. So if you like arugula, mizuna, the bok choy, those will all germinate at 40 degrees.
Siberian tomatoes.
Will they germinate at that?
That's what they claim.
Holy smokes. So you could even do tomatoes at that temperature. Now, some other fun things about a greenhouse. During the day, even though it might be freezing outside, if you have a nice sunny day, this heats up pretty warm. It's probably 60, 70 degrees on a freezing day if you've got bright sun. So it's warm in there. Okay? What happens at night? As soon as the sun goes down, there's no protection. It'd be really nice if you could store and keep all that heat. So unless you're putting lots of some type of thermal mass in there like water jugs or something else, you're really not storing much heat. You do store some heat in the soil. Okay, so the soil keeps some heat. So there's another ingredient that's really important in this. So let's go ahead and change down again. And that is, and I'll pass this around, it's called roll cover. This particular brand is called Remay, and it comes in rolls that you can buy at Steve Reagan Farm Supply. And it comes, I think, in widths of 6 feet and 12 feet and 100 feet long, or the rolls. It costs about $100, so you might want to find some friends to go in it. By putting this over your crop, you're getting about a 5 to 6 degree insulation. So you're able to protect what's under it by about that much. Now, why is 5 or 6 degrees important here? In Utah, from now on, we probably won't drop much below 27 degrees for the rest of the year. So those things that don't mind being down to freezing and they're going to still do all right,